there's a big, wonderful government out there that's going to take care of you. Well, folks, I'm so glad that you all found out exactly how the government takes care of you today.
Yeah.
And I hope that you decide beyond letting this be just one thing you participate in. Does that make sense?
We'll see. It's a good step, though. I mean,
it's
just
great,
us getting arrested
it's
there,
great.
it's a big deal.
It's great to stand up and fight for your rights. And you had the correct answer. The people. The people are responsible for all this. That's one of the reasons we do this TV show, because we don't receive any money for it at all. We do it strictly out of wanting to get the word out there. Just like today when you had this peace conference, which we had WLOS here, and then you finally got Asheville citizens here. But it's important that the people understand, because tomorrow when you get to be on our show, we're going to ask you some in-depth questions about some things going on. And we can only have like 2 at a time in the theater, but we'll pass you through, okay? Now, you're local, and you're local, all right? Now, how did you all find out about this going on campus?
My father was involved in inviting these folks to Asheville, and he let me know, as he usually does, about things happening in Asheville, and so I hopped on and joined
I
him.
noticed your father was here today, too, going around taking pictures. I think he's proud of you for taking a stand, isn't he?
Yes. He said he cried when he saw them getting arrested because he was so proud.
Well, that's good. That's good. There's nothing wrong with emotion. That's
it's great.
really good. Emotion's great. Now, your organization again is?
Survivors of the Abortion Holocaust.
And do you have a corporate headquarters or what?
Yeah, we're out of Riverside, California, so right east of LA.
Well, now, I've always heard that everything that came out of California was kind of whacked and crazy.
That's why we're there, to change that.
Have you not seen her hair?
Yeah, I know. I fit in here and in California.
Well, see, I saw the green hair, and I saw your hair.
Yes, this is the mark of California.
And your beard, and I saw his goatee. And I'm sitting there, and I want to ask you a question. Do you think if you had had on a sports shirt, khaki pants, and no beard, and no weird colored hair, would they have arrested you?
I may not be one to pass judgment here on Montreat, but I'm sorry, Asheville. But I've been walking around town. I haven't seen very much of that. I think this is pretty much commonplace here in Asheville, much like where I'm from in California.
In other words, you think you fit in real well?
Yeah, I think we fit in. It's just probably because we disagreed. I don't.
Well, these two don't fit in. They look a little bit different, right?
I guess so. My crazy days are behind a diverse group together from every type of background and from conservative looking to crazy. We've been told we look like crazy liberal hippies. And why are we holding pictures of aborted babies?
Well, isn't it great, though? And isn't it amazing you come to the city of diversity in the East? I mean, this is San Francisco of the East. And matter of fact, the city motto is any way you like it. But it appears to me it's any way you like it unless the way you like it is against what I believe.
Exactly.
I have a question. So which government agency is it here in Asheville that's incompetent? Is it the school that's incompetent in telling the police that telling people that we were assaulting police officers? Or is it the police department that's incompetent in letting us out of jail after we assaulted the police officer?
Yeah, exactly.
It seems to be inconsistent that either we assaulted the police officer and were released, or that they're just lying.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to ask another question. I asked the question a minute ago, whose responsibility it was to see that the policemen do their job, and whose responsibility? Who is let this situation of incompetence arise in Asheville? Who's to blame for that?
The people.
Ah.
We see, as we were arrested, there were students who were clapping there. And so there's people in an atmosphere who are apparently for openness. But
do you think they were clapping because they didn't have the guts and the courage to come join you?
I think they were clapping because they were glad we got arrested, and they were glad we were out of there, and they didn't care about free speech, even if they would talk, even if they would be for free speech in general, or they would say they were for it.
If somebody were protesting the war on that campus and they were arrested, there would not be people cheering, there would be a riot.
Yeah, that is correct.
But because we were protesting against abortion, we were speaking out against abortion, which apparently the mainstream community here in Asheville supports, that's why it was cheered. Because they disagreed with us.
Well, isn't that true? You go against the mainstream, you get in trouble any time.
Well, that's not what, well, the First Amendment is there to protect my right to go against the mainstream.
But doesn't going against the mainstream, isn't that the beginning of all new great ideas?
Yeah.
There was actually one student at the end there at the college as we were getting put into the paddy wagon who said, "You guys are heroes." And that's actually the last comment we heard. So even though they clapped that we were being arrested, we did hear from students that we were heroes to them, and we're opening up their campus for future free speech
There
activities.
were two soldiers who were standing next to me as I first set up my sign. They fought in Iraq. They fought, they were injured, one of them is handicapped and cannot drive. And he said to the police officer, you know, as the police officer was telling them to leave, to stop viewing our signs, he said, "No, I fought for these people's rights. I'm going to stand here and I'm going to preserve my rights."
What do you want to say to that soldier?
Thank him. I want to thank him for that. He protected our rights in a foreign country, now he's protecting our rights here in this country.
Now that's something to get emotional over, is somebody to give their life for you to have freedom. And that's what bothers me anytime I see anybody raising Cain about our soldiers. Thank you very much.
Thank you. At the college as we were getting put into the paddy wagon who said, "You guys are heroes." And that's actually the last comment we heard. So even though they clapped that we were being arrested, we did hear from students that we were heroes to them, and we're opening up their campus for future free speech activities.
There were two soldiers who were standing next to me as I first set up my sign. They fought in Iraq. They fought, they were injured, one of them is handicapped and cannot drive. And he said to the police officer, you know, as the police officer was telling them to leave, to stop viewing our signs, he said, "No, I fought for these people's rights. I'm going to stand here and I'm going to preserve my rights."
What do you want to say to that soldier?
Thank him. I want to thank him for that. He protected our rights in a foreign country, now he's protecting our rights here in this country.
Now that's something to get emotional over, is somebody to give their life for you to have freedom. And that's what bothers me anytime I see anybody raising Cain about our soldiers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.